Hi everyone, I'm Gemma Kubrims and welcome to review of Fallout from the World, the compilation album from the band Shadows Fall. Today was the 20th anniversary of the record, so I decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. I've already reviewed everything from this band except Threads of Life, so go check those videos out. My story with Shadows Fall is quite simple. Back in either 2007 or 2008, I've stumbled upon the song Inspiration on Demand. It was on some compilation. I was just taken aback by its quality, beautiful vocals, amazing musicianship, so I had to check out the entire discography, and I've been their fan ever since. My favorite record is Of One Blood, the 2008 remaster. Fallout from the War, as you can see, has a fantastic cover art. I just love its style. The whole idea of this release is beautiful to me. What we have here are 6 songs that didn't make the cut for their previous release, The War Within, which was this band's biggest success. It sold over 1,000 copies for Century Media, so it's obvious that they wanted to milk the band some more. So we have those 6 songs, which are actually quite lengthy, like they're almost 20 minutes long. Then we have 2 B-sides recorded. Deadworld is from the 2001 EP, and This Is My Own is The Art of Balance that didn't make the cut for the record, but it was on the Japanese edition. This is a newly recorded version, same with Deadworld. Then we have some covers. What is funny is that people claim that Teasn Pleasn is a re-recorded cover, which was already featured on The War Within Japanese edition. I don't think that's true. I've listened to the original version from The War Within Japanese edition, and it has the same instrumental, only the vocals are slightly different because on their original cover Jason was doing all of the vocals, and here Brian is helping with some stuff, so that's the only difference, besides the mastering, which here is unified and there it was more similar to The War Within. When it comes to the lineup, we've got Brian Furr on the vocals, Jonathan and Matt on the guitars and backing vocals, Paul Romanko on the bass, and Jason Bittner on the drums. This is the so-called classic lineup of Shadows Fall. Those 5 guys are jamming together since 2002, even to this day, which is just commendable. When it comes to production, it's tight. It was handled by Zeus, the dude who did the previous 2 records as well. I enjoy it. There is no loudness or no clipping here, just the way I like it. The drums are crunchy, bouncing with the guitars. You can hear the bass without any problems. The vocals are mixed perfectly as well. Yeah, there's nothing to complain about here. Message is diverse. The songs are mostly about hardships of life, unity, the strength within, the urge to persevere, also some personal problems. It depends on the songs. I actually quite enjoy the lyrics. You should check them out by yourself because you can interpret them however you want. Structure of the songs is between basic and advanced. Usually we've got an intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, which usually has 2 guitar solos, then the verse or either chorus and outro, but some of the songs have more stuff going on. For example, Deadworld and This Is My Own, because these are older songs when Shadows Fall was infusing more melodic death metal stuff into their music. So obviously everything was more technical. When it comes to the genre of this release, it's like a mix of heavy metal, thrash metal, melodic death metal and metalcore. It's a unique blend of styles that I wish more bands would do, but sadly they don't. Now let's focus on the musicianship. Let's start with the drummer Jason. He's straight up on fire. I love his double bass work, the snare sound of his drum set, how fast and precise he is, the grooves, just everything. He's the beating soul of this project. Next, Paul on the bass. The bass is audible. He mostly follows the guitars, but we have some moments here and there where he deviates from that stuff, or there's only the bass or the bassist and drummer playing together. I just love those moments. Like, the bassist is cool as well. Next, the guitar work. I must say that both the guitarists are very talented. I especially love their guitar solos. They're just fabulous and one of a kind. Also, the crunchy guitar riffs mixed with those more tremolo melodeath styled ones just do wonders for me. We also have some more heavy metalish and metalcore stuff and some breakdowns here and there. Last but not least, let's talk about the vocals. Brian Fair is on fire. I love his shouting, yelling, screaming, and also the guitarists are doing some deep growls, which always, at least for me, makes the songs more interesting because there's variety in the vocal department. But I must criticize that in the song December, Brian has a weird effect on his voice, and also the other dude, Jason, on the Teasn Pleasn cover. Like, he's from the original band, but I just can't stand his vocals, like, they are not for me. Everything else is fantastic though. Now it's time to rate the individual songs. The album opens up with an Effigy. I can't imagine why this track isn't featured on The War Within. Like, how did this not make the cut for the record? Like, the intro, love the guitarists, drumming, the bass lines, the vocals, chorus happens, which is so much fun. Have you ever understand again? Your vision's distorting. The guitar solos in the bridge are just so fun to listen to. All in all, I love every single segment of this track. It even has a music video, and still to this day, I have no clue why it's not on The War Within. 10 out of 10. Will to Rebuild. This is probably the weakest track from The War Within recording sessions. It does not mean it's a bad song. I actually enjoy it quite a lot. I love the guitar riffs, the heaviness of this one. It has no clean singing, it's pure aggression. I love the breakdowns. Overall, I feel like the song is a little bit generic. It does not stand out at all from the rest, but it's still a fun time. 8 out of 10. Haunting me endlessly. I'm not going to lie to you, this is my favorite song from this album, and it's a crime it's not featured on The War Within. Like, there are at least 3 songs there that I would easily replace with this one. I just love that evil guitar sound, the melodic death metal influence. I just love the chorus. What has become and haunting me endlessly. Also, special shout out to the drummer, where his controlled double bass work in the chorus, it sounds like machine guns popping off. All of that stuff is wonderful, and you need to check this song out right now. Like, it's so underrated, it's not even funny. 10 plus out of 10. Seize the Calm. I love the intro here. The overall instrumental work, like, everyone is doing their best, and I love that. But I must say that while I enjoy the chorus, which has beautiful singing, there's like a post-chorus thing happening like once in the song. The singing there is not for me. This is another of those songs that could have been on The War Within and it would fit right perfectly in. 9 out of 10. Carpal Tunnel. I love the instrumental work, the crunchy guitar riffs, the overall atmosphere and vibe of this track is off the charts. It sounds like something from the 90s, to be quite honest. Love the vocals, but I dislike some of the singing here. It's not for me. Like, it's the only thing I don't like from this song, because everything else is some of my favorite playing from Shadows Fall, at least in the War Within era. 9 plus out of 10. Going, Gone. This is probably the heaviest and fastest track here. I just love the I just love how the guitarists are growling here and Brian is screaming. Everyone is doing their best. The energy is off the charts. It radiates. It gives you your own energy. I just love this track so much. It's probably my second favorite song here. It's a goddamn shame that it's not on The War Within. 10 plus out of 10. Deadworld. This is a song I reviewed in my The Art of Balance review, so go check that video out. This newly recorded version does not have the grit and the intensity of the original one. I must complain about the vocal performance, which is just not as vicious as on the original version of Deadworld, so that's my only complaint. The growling and the screaming should have had more of an impact, more energy, more aggression, more emotions. This is the only thing that's missing from the original one. While this is still perfect and I love every single segment, I must say that you should just check out the 2001 version, even if it has slightly worse quality, especially drum wise. 10 out of 10. This is my own. Again, I have the same problem with this one I had with Deadworld, where I just prefer the original 2002 The Art of Balance version, which has more emotions, it's more vicious, it's heavier, but this one actually adds some of the vocal melodies that are absent on that cut, so I am not sure which one I would listen to more. It depends on my mood. 10 out of 10. December is a Only Living Witness cover. This is actually the reason I've heard about Only Living Witness through Shadows Fall, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart that they've decided to cover this song, because the original one from Only Living Witness, it's one of my all-time favorite songs of all time. I just love that one. But this cover, man, musically it's great, it respects the original one, but the vocals, like, what the hell is happening? Like, they've added some autotune or some shit to Brian's voice, and it does not sound good. It sounds quite robotic. That's like my only complaint about this cover. They shouldn't have done that. Everything else is great, but you should just listen to the original version. Like, don't bother with this one. 8 out of 10. Mark of the Squealer. It's a Leeway cover. Rest in peace, Eddie, the original vocalist of Leeway. I must say, this might annoy a lot of people. I don't want to disrespect the Leeway vocalist, but Brian's vocals here are just better to me, and I prefer this cover over the original song. It still retains the intensity and the energy of the original song, but with better production, better vocals, and it's a blast to listen through. 9+ out of 10. And the final cover, Teasing Pleasing from Dangerous Toys, which features Jason, the vocalist, I think, of Dangerous Toys. I love the instrumental work, especially the guitar solos. There's just so much passion in them. The guitar riffs crunchy, the drumming hell yeah, but the vocals, man, they're just not that great. Whenever Jason is a piece of my soul dies. It's just not the kind of music I would be listening to. It's why I refrain from reviewing stuff I don't enjoy or I know nothing about. To me personally, this is the weakest song on the record by far, and there isn't that much of a difference between this one and the original 2000 For the War Within cut. 8- out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable, the flow is fitting, probability. Yeah, it's a great record. While it's one of the weaker Shadows Fall offering, it's still streets ahead of Threads of Life, which came out a year later in 2007. That album, while it's still good, just didn't grasp me. It was too commercial, too mainstream. The songs weren't that good, they were stripped down, bare bone basically. Even B-sides from The War Within, so Fallout from the War, is just better to me. So this is like the second weakest Shadows Fall thing, but it's still fabulous. Like, almost everything here is top notch. My favorite songs personally are Haunting Me Endlessly, Going Going Gone, In Effigy, Carpal Tunnel, Deadworld, This Is My Own, Mark of the Squealer, Will to Reboot Seize the Yeah, that's it. I just love almost everything here. When you think about B-side compilations, for example, Disturbed the Lost Children, it's a great compilation, but its value isn't as high to me as Fallout from the War, because I think it only had one unreleased song before the Lost Children dropped, and Fallout from the War is the other way around. Only 3 songs were like known before this record came out, and those are Deadworld, This Is My Own, and Teasing Pleasing. Everything else was completely new, so we had 6 new B-sides we have never heard before that are of a high quality. Yeah, this is one of the best B-side compilations I've ever heard. If you know some other great B-side compilations, you can write them down in the comment section. System of a Down, still this album does not count, because while these are B-sides from Toxicity, it was still released as an actual album. So if you enjoyed this review, give it a like and subscribe, follow me on my Instagram, links in the description. I will actually post today this CD on it because I own it. Shout out to all of my Patreon supporters who gracefully sponsor these videos. You're all truly wonderful. If you want, you can join them so I can make you a Doom MIDI cover or an album review or a lyric video, whatever you need. There's also a link in the description. See you next time. Bye.